Imagine if you spent your entire life training to become the world's greatest assassin. Everyone knew your name. You were considered the most dangerous person alive. But out of nowhere, you find yourself being hunted by elite spies, and suddenly, you get sent to another world. And once you arrive in this strange new land, you discover you were summoned by a certain young lady. Let's say she's rather enticing, who wants to make you her husband. She assumes you're completely powerless, so she decides to let you live off her generosity. All she really needs is a husband so her dad will stop nagging her. But she's no ordinary woman. Aside from being, well, extremely well endowed, she also happens to be incredibly strong. In fact, she's one of the most respected generals in this world. So, what would you do? Would you tell her the truth that you're a highly trained killer? Or, after a lifetime of violence, bloodshed, and survival, would you just give in and enjoy the easy life as the Empress's kept man? Honestly, I'd be tempted. I'd probably go back and forth on it. But what's our guy gonna choose? At this very moment, the story shows us he's still being chased by the assassin guild he once belonged to. During the chase, there's a sudden explosion, and then we cut to the Empress performing a summoning ritual. She declares, "In the name of the spirit that dwells within me, I summon a servant from a different time and space." Suddenly, someone appears on her bed, head covered with a cloth. The figure removes the cover, looking around and wondering, where are the people chasing me? He glances around confused, trying to make sense of the situation. But we already know who this troublemaker is. It could only be our protagonist, Xiao Tian, and the Empress who summoned him. That's Zi Ruyan. She leans on her hand, clearly disappointed, seeing that the man she called forth looks like just some regular guy. Meanwhile, our shameless boy is already blushing, thinking, gorgeous. That angelic face, that flawless skin. She's like a wild, untamable ocean, a force of nature with an unbeatable spirit. Can't really blame him on that one. Then the Empress sighs and mutters, "You know what? This actually works out. You've saved me a lot of trouble." Xiao Tian, still lost, asks, "Who are you? Where are we?" She spreads her arms and replies, "I am the Empress of the Great Yang Dynasty, and from now on, you're the Prince of the Realm and my husband." Our boy just stands there, completely bewildered, looking like he got hit in the head. She clears her throat and continues, "Yep, you heard right. Some of my advisors were begging me to marry. I didn't want to be pressured by that annoying minister, so I summoned you for political cover." Our guy's eyes start to sparkle. He's practically glowing. He asks, "So you're saying, I don't have to do anything here? Just be your husband?" She shrugs, "Pretty much." And of course, the shameless rascal flops back onto the bed and invites the Empress to join him for a little quality time. But she shuts that down real quick. She explains that unfortunately, she won't be fulfilling any wifely duties, but she promises he'll never need to worry about food, clothes, or money for the rest of his life. She'll even find a way to remove the slave ring that got embedded in him during the summoning. Then she tells him to meet her in the Imperial Hall and leaves the room. Xiao Tian just sits there, stunned by her commanding presence. He looks down at the ring and thinks, this is the contract ring she mentioned. As long as I'm under its effect, I can't do anything to hurt her. That's when the long-awaited system finally appears and asks, "Would you like to activate the most powerful supreme system? Yes or no?" Our guy goes, "Wait a second. I traveled to another world and I'm being offered an overpowered system on top of that?" Of course he says no. Yeah, I really thought he'd say yes too, but hey, our boy knows what he's doing. Then he starts talking. "I was adopted as an orphan when I was a kid. I had to kill and train non-stop just to survive. Because of the assassin guild I worked for, I didn't even have a say in who I took out. Wanting to be the strongest? I already walked that path. I'm done. What I want now is right here. Is there anything better than being a pampered prince with zero responsibilities?" He sits down satisfied. But then the system goes, "Because you declined, we'll now erase your memory and move on to another candidate." Xiao Tian just stares it down, and then the system starts glitching. System failure. Attempting to disconnect. System failure. Trying to forcibly bond with user. System failure. Host belongs to ultra-dimensional plane, Earth. Entering parasite mode. System failure. The system is bugging out hard, trying every trick in the book and nothing works. After 9,999 failed attempts, it gives up and pleads, "Can I at least be your assistant, please?" Our boy just stands there thinking to himself, so now this thing won't be my system anymore, it'll be my slave? Now that, I can agree to. He decides to give the system a name, Wan Cow. Immediately, the system warns him, "Dear master, please hold your breath. Otherwise, there may be unnecessary consequences." Xiao Tian's confused, but the moment he takes a breath, the nearby plants start disintegrating. The system panics, "No, don't do that. Suppress your power." That's when he realizes he's become a bit stronger. He asks the system to explain what's going on. The system replies, "On Earth, people are bound by 490,000 dimensional rules. That's why you're so overwhelmingly powerful." Our guy asks, "So how many dimensional rules does this world have?" The system answers, 3,000, which means he's 470,000 times stronger now. Naturally, Xiao Tian wants to check out his status window. And what shows up? Turns out he has the bloodline of the ancient Chinese dragon descendants. A bloodline so rare and powerful, the system doesn't even know how strong it truly is. Big guy decides he wants to try out his power a bit, so he heads to the martial arts training hall. He spots a rack of swords and casually grabs one. "I'll test it with this," he says, but before he even finishes the sentence, the sword snaps in his hand. He mutters, "Tetch. This empress sure doesn't take good care of her weapons." The system chimes in, weapons in this world are ranked from 1 to 9. That one was ranked 6, so it was a pretty decent weapon. He grabs another more carefully this time using just his fingertip. Gives it a look and goes, "This one looks alright." As soon as he touches it, crack, shattered again. Our guy gets frustrated and chucks it aside. "Alright, message received. At the very least, I'm strong enough. Doesn't matter if the weapons are garbage. Not like I plan to kill anyone this time around anyway." He walks out of the hall. Time skips the next day. He wakes up and notices someone lying beside him. He's got very good company. Startled, he asks, "Wait, did we?" The Empress is blushing, gazing at him. Still half asleep, he cups her cheek and mumbles, "Did we actually do that?" She ignores the question completely and asks if he slept well. He replies, "I slept great, but am I in the wrong room or something?" She explains she had to stay the night so people wouldn't get suspicious. A married couple sleeping in separate rooms on their wedding night, people would talk. She gets up, elegant as ever, and says, "I'll send someone to assist you if you need anything." Then she turns around, radiant as always, and softly apologizes. "I'm sorry for summoning you here for my own benefit." Our boy is grinning from ear to ear, thinking, this woman is incredible. Not only is she majestic, but she takes care of me too. Easy life. Here I come. Night falls. We cut to the Empress asking, is the situation in the north really that bad? Her friend, a former general, answers, unfortunately, yes. The barbarians are already starting to invade, and based on our intel, the sacred barbarian will be there too. The Empress slams shut her little notebook and says, then I'll go take it back myself. I'll deal with that old bastard once and for all. She turns to the general and says, in 3 days you're coming north with me. The ex-general doesn't even hesitate. She lights up. That woman loves chaos. We jump to 3 days later. The Empress is now fully armored, clearly someone who knows how to fight. Before leaving, she asks if everything's in place. The woman nods and says she assigned Lingyer to watch over him, so there's nothing to worry about. But then she turns and asks, why are you so concerned with that prince? He seems totally useless. The Empress replies, ever since he arrived, I've felt stronger somehow. Maybe he brings good luck to the Empire. And just like that, she sets off to reclaim the north. Watching her ride away is the general's daughter, Zhao Lingyer. She's the one left in charge of watching over our boy, and to say she's not thrilled about it would be an understatement. She mutters, why do I have to babysit this worthless prince? Then she looks over at him. Her majesty is amazing, so why'd she marry a weirdo like that? But just then, out of nowhere, someone snatches Xiao Tian. She doesn't even notice. And what does our boy do? Keeps calmly eating his roast chicken. He's thrown down in front of a group of shady-looking guys. One of them, wearing what looks like a half mask, turns and asks, are you sure this is the right guy? That loser's the Empress's husband. Lingyer, who should be helping him, is just sitting up in a tree, watching everything, convinced he's a total idiot. As soon as the kidnappers move away a bit, she jumps down, grabs his hand, and says, come on, let's get out of here. But right then, he disappears. Turns out our Lingyer was fooled by an illusion item. Now she's the one trapped in a spiritual cage. The guys come back and immediately recognize her as the general's daughter. Meanwhile, our protagonist, still calmly munching on his chicken like it's just another afternoon. Linger's already drawing her sword, but the scar-faced man tells her not to bother. She demands, who are you? He takes off his mask, revealing a long scar, and asks, do you remember me? Cut to the next scene. She's chained up in a cave, shocked. Liang, the scared guy, is alive. Our boy chimes in cheerfully, oh, so you all know each other? Great. In that case, I'm heading out. But Liang puts a hand on his shoulder and says, we're not done here. Xiaotian sighs, disappointed. All right then, guess I'll wait. Scarface thinks to himself, at least the Empress's husband has guts. Then he hands Xiao a vial and says, you're gonna put this in the Empress's water. Xiao takes it and casually replies, sure, no problem. Liang eyes him suspiciously. This is going too smoothly. He warns that's a nonverbal promise item. If you drink it and break the deal, you'll die. Before he can finish his sentence, Xiao already downs it. Then turns to him and says, okay, can I go now? I've got stuff to do. If I take too long, those Imperial guards are gonna start looking for me. Liang stares at the empty bottle, completely thrown off. What do I even do with a guy like this? He wonders. Our boy's sitting there like, I did everything you asked. Just let me go already, man. Lingyer shouts at him, you shameless traitor. How could the Empress pick someone like you? Liang scolds her, you're an idiot. The prince simply understands the situation better than you do. You and your mother are the only ones who can't see how desperate things are in the Yang dynasty. Then Xiao points to Lingyer and asks, so now that I've taken the poison, can I take her with me too? She screams, I don't want your help. But Liang cuts in, sorry, can't do that. I've got some unfinished business with her I need to settle. Xiao frowns, yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm not leaving without her. Then he says it, plain and clear. If I have to leave here without her, it'll be because I'm dead. Liang responds, fine, then you'll die of poison, right here in this cave. Our boy gives him an innocent look. Don't be petty, man. I've been nothing but cooperative. Suddenly, one of the henchmen behind him snaps, charges forward, and goes to punch him. The guy's fist swings just near Xiao's hair, and Lingyer flinches. He's just a regular guy, she thinks. How's he gonna survive that? But when they look again, he's still sitting there, yawning. Both of them freeze, stunned. How is he this calm? With a serious expression, Xiao says, "Are you gonna move that hand or not?" The guy still has him by the hair. Xiao just mutters, "Don't touch my hair." Then, bam, he gives a lazy side punch. A huge explosion follows. Pretty sure the guy just got vaporized. The whole cave shakes. Our boy tilts his head, wondering why did that happen. Then throws another punch, and another. By now he's blown up 3 guys already. The masked guy falls to the floor. Xiao approaches and the guy starts begging for his life, but it's too late. With just one stare, Xiao makes him disintegrate. He literally killed the guy by looking at him. Then he turns to Lingyer. She's trembling. "Prince, please let me live. I didn't know you were like this." Xiao just grabs the chains in his hand. Snapped, she's free. She's completely stunned. How the hell did he break sacred chain formations like they were twigs? He looks at her and says, "Silly girl, why'd you think I'd hurt you? Just sit here and don't move. I'm gonna go clean up the evidence." And then he Hulk jumps into the sky. Far off in the distance, 2 mountains rise. Lingyer, smiling and dazed, mutters, "What the hell? Am I seeing things? Is that a mountain hopping around? Wait, why is a mountain heading this way?" And there he is, our Chad hero, carrying a whole mountain. He drops it behind her with a boom. Xiao walks up all carefree and says, "There, no more evidence." Lingyer just stands there, absolutely dumbfounded. "So that's how you cover up a crime, huh?" Our boy's already walking off and says, "Hey little girl, when they ask, just say you were the one who saved me, alright?" She blinks, totally confused. "Wait, what? What do you mean?" With a straight face, he looks at her and says, "Didn't your mom ever tell you to listen to what adults say?" She's still in shock but nods. "Got it. I won't tell anyone." Proud as ever, he smirks and says, "That's right. Good girl. Now let's go." He picks her up by the arm and glances to the side. Her friend is nearby, searching around. One of the guards spots them and says, "Prince, General Zhao, what are you 2 doing here?" Our guy's just yawning. Lingyer jumps in quickly. "I already took care of the thief. Nothing to worry about." Chochian adds, "False alarm, folks. Let's go back and get some BBQ." General Liu Yan warns him, "Prince, there are bandits in these mountains. It's not safe to stay here." He shrugs and says, "If you mean those bandits, they're all dead. This little girl here took care of them. Bunch of weaklings." One of the soldiers whispers to her friend, "Oh my god, this prince is such a moron. He's calling the great general a little girl." But Xiao and Lingyer are already walking off. Blondie, Lingyer, turns back and tells the other guards to get moving. They all stand there stunned, wondering why is the general listening to him. Cut to our protagonist roasting his little pig, happy as can be. Lingyer shows up all sweet, bringing him a little knife to carve with. She sits right beside him, just waiting for another tasty bite. The other soldiers whisper to each other, "It's over. The general's gone nuts." Xiao turns to Lingyer and asks, "Hey, do you know who those guys were that captured us?" She replies, "Their leader, the one with the scar, was Liang Shu. He was supposed to be executed a year ago." "Executed?" Xiao blinks. "For what?" "It was during my coming-of-age ceremony," she says. He raises an eyebrow. "Coming of age? Wait, how old are you?" She blushes a little. 16. Xiao stares in disbelief. 16. Talking about murder and decapitations like it's nothing. Your mom must be out of her mind. She gives a nervous laugh and nods. Then she warns him, "Now that you're with the Empress, you're going to be hunted too." One of the mounted guards says, "Prince, it'd be safer if you stayed in the palace. You'll be more protected there." He agrees immediately. "You're right. I'll just chill in the palace, eating and drinking in peace." The guards quietly wonder, is he seriously that scared of dying? Xiao's already running ahead, yelling, "Let's check out the palace." The gossip starts right behind him, some of the girls whispering that Linger's way too clingy with the prince. Is she into him or something? As they walk along the mountain path, Xiao turns to her and says, "Hey, I overheard the other girls talking about something called a blood cloud. What's that supposed to be?" Linger snaps, clearly annoyed. "Oh, those damn guards can't keep their mouths shut." She explains the blood cloud is a force that keeps attacking our empire. That's why everyone's forced to pay protection taxes. Xiao frowns. "Protection taxes? What do you mean?" She goes on to explain the shady deal. Corrupt politicians have been charging people for protection from the Blood Cloud tribe, but they don't actually do anything to protect them. They just pocket the money. Sounds like a classic South American politician move to me. And now, to make things worse, there's talk of removing the Empress from power because she opposes all of it, which means he, as her useless husband, is now a walking target. Xiao clenches his fist. This whole system is rigged. Then he turns to Lingyer and asks, "If the Empress finds out I'm actually strong, is she gonna make me start working?" Lingyer answers without missing a beat, "Absolutely." Xiao thinks it over. "If these guys attack the city and come after me, I'll eventually have to show what I can do. And if I don't, everyone could get wiped out. If a war breaks out because of me, she'll probably divorce me or kick me out. He scowls. No way. I'll take care of those blood cloud guys before they ruin my slacker lifestyle. Lingyer stares at him. Wait, that's what you're worried about? They keep walking through the forest and Lingyer says it's impossible to find them. They've got a fortress hidden away somewhere. Our boy, full shade mode, says relax Blondie, then casually scoots her into his arms and launches himself into the sky. Poor girl's completely stunned. Wait, he didn't use any spiritual energy for that. Meanwhile, he's flying at insane speed with her in his arms. She's screaming, totally panicked, slow down. The system chimes in, Master, you need to reduce speed immediately, or she's going to die. A bit later, he finally lands in the middle of nowhere and calmly says, we're here. Lingyer, hair all messed up and dizzy, croaks, here. Where's here? Our prince winds up his arm and punches straight into an invisible wall. Boom, shatters everything, and tada, a hidden floating base appears right in front of them. Lingyer gasps. So that's why no one could ever find it. It's a cloaked floating fortress. Our lovely protagonist marches right in and tells Lingyer to follow him. She nods and asks, so what's the plan for this secret infiltration? He shrugs. There is no secret infiltration. Next thing you know, he jumps straight to the front doors of the main hall with her. You're insane, she mutters. Inside, a tall, imposing woman notices them. A face I don't recognize, she says. Trip doesn't wait. An explosion goes off as he starts slicing through people left and right. Suddenly, more enemies appear behind him. And among them, Walnut Goku has entered the chat. Lingyer recognizes him right away. He's one of the top assassins from the Blood Tower. The guy looks at Xiao Tian and sneers, so the Empress's lapdog came to see me. Whoa, even Xiao didn't see that insult coming. Ruthless. The Blood Tower goons quickly start whispering plans. The Empress is off in the north. Let's send her his head. But Xiao, no fool, instantly picks up on it. They know too much. There's definitely a spy inside the city. Free Shipping Goku says, I've been dying to see the power of this so-called weakling prince. But at that very moment, he feels it. That pressure. Xiao Tian's aura towers over them, massive, suffocating. Just one cold look and half of them drop to the floor, trembling. Goku clutches his head, desperate. P-Prince. Wait, this was all just a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? Xiao says calmly. I just wanted to live a peaceful, lazy life. But you sent people to hunt me down. Now I have no choice but to destroy everything. He charges up the old classic punch and boom, vaporizes the whole room. Walmart Goku, gone without a trace. The remaining survivors start panicking. Wait, who was the idiot who said this prince was weak? Xiao reaches for Linger's hand and smiles. You okay, little lady? She's standing there dumbfounded. He really has no idea how powerful he is, does he? She asks, are you seriously going to destroy the entire Blood Clan? Of course I am, he says. Next stop, their main base. I want to be home by dinner. He punches through their warehouse. KLM, gold coins everywhere. Without hesitation, he dives in like a man possessed. They ruined my nap, he mutters. This is compensation. Lingyer watches, and while she gets it, she still asks, isn't this a bit much? That money's dirty. He responds, it's the price they pay for trying to corrupt our city. You don't have a problem with that, right? She laughs nervously, and no, not at all. Then he grabs a powerful talisman from the rubble and tosses it to her. She flinches. Wait, why are you using such a high-level talisman on me? He replies, their base is super far from here. I need to go full speed, so you'll need that to survive the trip. What do you mean survive the trip? Before she can finish, he picks her up again and and they're off. Even with the talisman, she's suffering hard. It's way too fast. Seconds later, they crash land at the enemy base. Lingyer is completely wrecked. Xiao sniffs the air and immediately senses blood. 10 men surround them in an instant. A couple steps forward. Who dares set foot in our sacred base? They sneer. Lingyer freezes. Their auras are terrifying. Then an old man appears. That's him, the Lord of the Blood Tribe. Lingyer whispers, that's the one behind everything. Xiao raises an eyebrow and asks, you got beef with the Yang dynasty or something? The man scoffs, I do. But you're just the useless prince. Doesn't matter to me. Though I'll admit, breaking through our defense array means you've got something powerful, probably some rare artifact. Then, without missing a beat, he shouts, kill him. Just then, the guide, who's apparently someone else's husband, raises his hand and says, I'll take care of him myself. Lingyer turns to our protagonist, worried. Be careful. That's Skull Splitter Huan Gang. Xiao Tian squints. That name sounds like a bluff. He's already thinking. He's got to wipe everyone out. If anyone escapes, word's gonna get out that he's the real deal. Huan steps up face to face with our boy. I didn't expect the prince to have any strength, he says, but doesn't matter. Then he turns to the Blood Tribe leader. If I go all out, will you call a healer afterward? The old man replies, don't worry about holding back, just don't kill him. Huan stares Xiao down. Small, pretty face, skinny frame, long legs. So this is the kind of guy the Empress likes. Ope Huan, you're observant, but you're giving off real specific vibes here. One of his goons warns, careful man, don't kill him in one punch. Another laughs, he's probably already peeing himself from fear. Xiao Tian calmly points at his own forehead. Hit me right here. Everyone freezes. What? RGIJCHD adds, what, you scared? That sets Huan off. He throws a punch straight at Xiao's face. Everyone's eyes go wide. But of course our boy doesn't disappoint. He stops the punch with one finger. Xiao smirks. What's wrong, bro? You didn't eat today. Come on, put some strength into it. Huan throws another punch. Again, stopped with a single finger. Xiao just wags his finger at him. Nope, still not enough. Huan keeps swinging, fists flying, hands starting to bleed. Then Xiao lets out a flicker of aura. Wham! Huan's body slams into the wall, hand totally mangled. Xiao comments, "Gotta say, I admire your technique. You nearly killed yourself throwing punches." In the background, someone's whining, "Damn it, Intelligence Division again. Who said this guy was weak?" Our prince even feels sorry for him. Poor dude's literally crying from how badly he got beaten. But Xiao suddenly notices guys from the other towers are here too, and he's not letting anyone escape. Time to open the floodgates. Punches. 4. Everybody. The room explodes into chaos. People scream in disbelief. Is he even human? Everyone tries to flee. Some start vanishing. On the floor, a blood tower guy's muttering prayers. Please, let just one of us escape. The world needs to know about this monster. But no chance. Xiao appears right in front of someone, gives a few slaps, and bodies start evaporating. No survivors. Then, she appears. The ultimate threat to any man. She's a total bombshell, and even she is stunned. I've never seen anyone this unmatched in martial skill. If you spare me, she purrs, I'll serve at your side for life. No one knows who she is, but they do know. She's the queen of seduction, and no man survives her. Cardio techniques. Except that, well, halfway through the aerobics, she eats people's hearts. So yeah, slightly dangerous. But the real issue, she's way too beautiful. Our prince might actually fall for her. But no, our boy unleashes a devastating aura and says, "You're a twisted woman with a filthy mind." She drops to her knees, sobbing, "What do you want me to do, my lord?" Xiao answers, "I don't mind you begging. But if the Empress finds out I was even near someone like you, she'll divorce me, and I'll lose my comfy lifestyle." And before she can say a word more, he punches her square in the chest. She only survives thanks to her, natural airbag system. Turning to Lingyur, he says proudly, "See, I'm a loyal man. If anyone asks, make sure to tell them. Oh, and mention I was very upset about this, alright?" Lingyur, totally unfazed, asks, "What are you even talking about?" He crosses his arms. "You're too young to get it. Just forget it." Lingyur starts admiring him again. He's so strong and mentally unshakable. Not even she could seduce him. Then Xiao says, "Only one left." Meanwhile, hiding somewhere, the blood tribe leader is curled up thinking, who said this guy was weak? This dude's not from a normal realm. I don't even know what level he's at. He assumes Xiao must have used some rare treasure to get into the fortress. It had to be something like that, not just raw power. The old man breathes a sigh of relief, thinking the monster had finally left. But guess who appears right behind him? Yup, our boy, face to face. The old man freezes. Xiao says, "You look like a kid hiding under the bed." The guy disappears in a flash. From behind, the tribe leader laughs. "He fell into my trap. This whole place is about to blow. He'll die for sure." But the prince already grabs the blood tribe leader by the neck and says, "Where were you going? We're not done yet. Let's go back." Back at the base, he shows the guy to Lingyur and goes, "Can you believe this guy was hiding under a bed?" Lingyur, totally confused, asks, "Wait, isn't he the leader of the assassins?" Barely able to speak, the man gasps, "I suppressed my spiritual energy, slowed my breathing, even controlled my heartbeat. How did you find me?" Xiao Tian shrugs. "Easy. I just listened to the blood flowing through your veins." They both freeze. "You can hear that? That makes a sound? No way." Xiao says, "Enough. I answered your question. Now it's your turn. Why are you targeting the Empress's dynasty?" The leader starts sweating bullets. "If you promise to spare me, I'll tell you." Half a second later, the guy's already disconnected from the world of the living. Lingyur just stares. Dang, he didn't even hesitate. Poor guy. "Can I go home now?" Next scene, the assassin's base is now at the bottom of a lake. How did Xiao do it? Who knows? But let's not question it. This guy's basically an Chuck Norris. He turns to Lingyur. "Let's go. It's dinner time." She's smiling, totally curious. How is he this strong? But Xiao cuts her off. "Enough curiosity, Blondie." She nods nervously. Then he pats her on the head and says, "Kids just need to listen to adults. That's all." Blushing, Lingyur pouts. "I'm not a kid." Xiao grins. "All right, fine. You're a grown woman now. Cool. Now let's go. I'm starving." As they walk, she keeps thinking about that fight. How did he hear the guy's blood flow? Just then, the royal guards find them. Xiao clutches his chest and says dramatically, "Thank goodness you helped me find that token. If I'd lost it, the Empress would have been devastated." Lingyur side-eyes him. How does he lie so easily? Not even a blink. Meanwhile, our boy's only worried about one thing, dinner. One of the knights apologizes for not being around and leaving Lingyur stuck with this idiot prince. But Lingyur defends him, a little embarrassed. "Don't say that about the prince. Let him be who he is." The knight narrows her eyes, suspicious. Why is Lingyur defending this guy so much? She warns, "Be careful. These blood tribe bastards are reckless. I don't care if something happens to the prince, but I don't want you ending up like my husband." Lingyur softly replies, "Your husband was a hero. If he hadn't faced the blood tribe alone, he might have survived." The knight starts tearing up. "It's fine. The blood tribe will disappear soon." Shows off to the side, thinking, Guess I did something good today, huh? Hope the guy rests in peace. The guards are all giving him weird looks. What's wrong with this prince? Is he nuts? Next morning, Lingyor's rushing out of the house. Her dad calls out, "Why the rush?" "I'm going to the palace to carry out my duty," she shouts back. He notices her outfit. "What are you wearing?" Blushing, she explains, "I'm going to the palace to take care of the prince. The empress asked me to." He snaps. There are guards at the palace. "You don't need to babysit that lazy bum who only thinks about pleasure." Lingyor fires back, "You've never even met the prince. Stop judging him." Before he can react, she's already out the door. He stands there stunned. Yesterday morning, she hated being assigned to watch over him. Now she woke up early and even got dressed up to see him. Something's not right. Cut to the palace. And look at our hero, chilling in the courtyard, surrounded by ladies pampering him. He's got snacks being fed into his mouth while he watches anime on his system. Truly, a difficult life. The knights nearby are fuming. The empress is off fighting a war in the north, and this guy's living like he's retired. Sho's just lying there thinking, retired life's the best life. But then, one knight suddenly freezes. "Major General? Whoa, she came dressed like that today." Everyone's stunned. Nobody's ever seen the general dressed like this. Our boy looks up. "Oh hey, what are you doing here, little miss?" Awkwardly, she replies, "The empress told me to look after you. I'm just doing my job." Annoyed, he waves her off. "Go away. You're ruining my vibe. I don't need protection." He's nervous she might slip up and expose that he's actually powerful. And if that happens, he'll have to start working. The knights are standing there thinking, this prince is messing around with the major now. He's out of his mind. But she steps forward and says, "I'm not leaving. I'm staying here with you." That's in direct order from the empress. I'm not disobeying it. One of the guards behind her is panicking. "Oh no, someone broke her mentally. I've got to report this to the general." This prince, I mean, he's kind of cute, sure, but what's happening here? First he wins over the empress and now the major too. Meanwhile, our boy is just chilling, totally unbothered. A while later, one of the knights comes rushing in. We just saw an island falling from the sky. The skeptical warrior, who didn't believe in our protagonist, starts to wonder, could it have been the Blood Tribe's base? Is that why no one ever found it? Lingyor walks over asking, "What's going on?" The woman answers, "Major General, it looks like one of the Blood Tribe's bases has collapsed." She just goes, "Oh, okay." And the girls all look at each other like, "Wait, what? That's your reaction?" "Major," argues shocked. Realizing her slip, Lingyor quickly fakes it. "Oh, my goodness, no way, the base fell. Who could have done such a thing?" Meanwhile, our prince is slicing into a watermelon thinking, she's so bad at lying. No one's buying that. One of the knights looks confused. "I mean, it's good news, but I still don't get it." Lingyor asks her, "Why aren't you happy? Isn't this vengeance for your husband?" The knight sighs, "I'm just worried. Sure, one of their bases was destroyed, but it crashed in our territory. What if the leader of their main base comes here? What if the king of assassins shows up?" Xiao and Lingyor are giggling in the corner. Now the knight is completely lost. Why are they laughing? This is serious. She snaps, "Major, why are you laughing? This is a life or death situation for the dynasty. Are you only thinking about the prince now?" Lingyor's caught off guard. What are you talking about?" She's about to explain when Xiao suddenly smacks her lightly on the back of the head. "I heard everything from back there. You're grinning while we're facing a national crisis? You better start taking this seriously." Embarrassed, Lingyor mumbles that she almost let his secret slip. The knight is frozen, stunned that she just saw Lingyor get whacked by the prince. Xiao rests a hand on her shoulder and says, "Commander Lu, the Yan dynasty is prosperous. No matter how tough things get, we'll overcome it. So don't worry too much." The knight opens her mouth to speak, but he cuts her off. "I still have to teach her a few things. So go back to your duties." He gives her a look. "You heard me. Back to work." Then walks off with Lingyor and Tao. The knights are standing there in disbelief. What's happening with the major? She's following orders from him. She's only known him for, 2 days? One of them mutters, "This is way worse than I thought. We need to report this to the Grand General fast." Cut to Xiao and Lingyor on a bridge. Here comes the lecture. He tells her she doesn't get it. He just wants to relax. So she needs to be smarter, keep her mouth shut, and stop saying dumb things. Lingyor, all embarrassed, says, "Sorry, I won't do it again." He responds, "Sorry doesn't fix anything. Quit acting like an idiot." She lets out a little sigh, then drops to her knees. "Please, let me be your disciple. I want to be as strong as you one day." But Xiao turns his back to her, already raising a hand like he's waving goodbye. "I don't even know how I got this strong," she gasped.